Sam Riegel's character, Free of the Witch, to turn her back into a halfling.
Yeah, not.
Yeah, I don't remember the halfling name. It began with a V, though.
You know, I can't watch other people play D&D. Like,
It's
not like watching Critical Role. It bores the shit out of me.
I mean, that's fair. It's like how some people
I'd
play
rather-
sports and can't watch sports.
Yeah, like, I loved playing football, but I can't watch it because it's like,
No.
takes 1,000 hours.
Yeah, not the same investment of actually being in the action.
No, I used to watch college all day, fucking pro, and I can't sit for that anymore. So incredibly boring. But it's fucking blast to play. Yeah, the
Critical,
D&D thing I can't. It bores me, and I'd rather just like hang out with my friends doing it than watch somebody else doing it.
Understandable.
Critical Role actually gave me a lot of tips between being a DM and player. It really helped me learn learn the roleplay aspect of D&D. Yeah.
I can see that.
Makes sense. Everybody gets something different out of it.
I learned D&D from a podcast called Drunks and Dragons.
I sat down at my computer and we played. It's fucking winging it until like level 5.
Well, I learned how to play D&D when I was like 17. In high school, I started at 3.5. But just Critical Role taught me like of the value and a good approach to the strictly like the roleplay aspect. I didn't really care for any of the combat. Like whenever they started combat, I would always be doing something else. I didn't like watching them fight. I really liked the player engagement and DM engagement though when it came to everything outside, because it was like listening to an audiobook story.
The ability to perform D&D at such a high level is crazy to see.
It's funny because I think I got more of the war game aspect out of it, strategy aspect out of it. It was like playing, like, what's it called? Like playing a game of Baldur's Gate with your friends, except as immersive as it can get, you know? I used to play like Risk and shit with people. And sometimes this feels like that. Like we're in combat and I get into it. The story's crazy, but I'm like, what can Thalos do here?
Hello?
What can I do if I go here?
Yeah. The unfortunate thing.
Long on my terms.
The unfortunate thing is, for almost 10 years of playing D&D, the one thing that never changes is combat.
Yeah, a lot of them are like that. That's the thing. It's been so long. I feel like some people are sort of getting bored with that aspect. That's why we have Critical Role.
That's also why I like to try and add new things to combat or different variations of it.
That's why I like when we think of the most outlandish things we can think of. It feels more improvising.
Stick them on a boat and make the same shit happen in 3-day cycles.
Like the
Stop.
2 mile wide fucking. Listen, I have a lot of fun with that shit. I understand that you want to get up
It's literally reminding me of the joke about Guts being on a boat for 15 fucking years because of the Berserk hiatus, where Guts was just on a boat and then they went on a hiatus. That's what I'm feeling when we do these boat arcs.
Look. There are boats in this world. I can't stop you guys from getting on them. As much as I may pray and hope to.
I literally, in our next fucking level up, I'm getting rid of a spell and just taking teleport.
I feel like it's because of our habit of, like, oh, we pissed off this nation. Alright, cool, the next one. Oh, we pissed off this nation. Okay, cool, the next
one.
Yeah.
My thought process was literally, I would rather teleport and risk being teleported to the wrong area and deal with that aspect than get on another fucking boat for 30 goddamn days.
we basically just stay as long as we don't completely piss everybody off, and when we do, we just move to the next place
Like locusts.
and do magical disasters to the land that might last for the next 100 years.
I really would like to go back there and fix that at some point.
No, it's done. Fuck it.
No, I really don't want that to be my lasting.
We are not setting our faces anywhere near that place.
I need to go back and help. I need to. I'm one of the most powerful abjuration wizards in the world at this point. I need
and
to help
that's how
them.
you get a crossbow in your ass immediately.
That's what I have you for.
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody's like, no, we're not fucking going back. You're the only one that wants to go back.
I'll go back.
Thank you, Ashton.
Yeah, the one who cares about the world.
The person who
Ashton will go
cares
back.
about the world. Yeah, thank God.
The thing that's waiting for us there is definitely not going to be fun.
Is there someone waiting there for us?
I mean, we just went
If they're
and
alive, I'm
obliterated
impressed.
not just the land, but
It's gonna
like
be
a whole
living
fortress of a thing.
It's gonna be a whole fucking. I mean, all of the wildlife there is gonna be crazy. We need to remove
would
our
you-
magical radiation, please.
Would you rather be remembered for the serene solace you give people, or
Nobody-
the wake of bodies in your path?
Nobody knows we were there. The ones who did are no longer around.
That's true. We are Scott.
So you just Chernobyl the place and didn't want to take responsibility. For it.
I'm trying to.
We accidentally Chernobyl the place, then fought, and we're like,
Accidentally makes it okay. Yeah, I understand. Accidentally makes it perfectly okay. We'll just leave the scourge of
Hey,
the
it
earth.
was a faulty roll. Shit happens.
No. They tried to Chernobyl us, and we turned it back on them.
Actually, true. Yeah, that is. They literally tried to nuke us, and we were like,
Yeah,
no,
this is
you-
how
we
This is how
just couldn't
Fallout
shut it off.
This is just how Fallout happens. They're setting
We
a
were
nuke,
like-
we'll send our own nuke.
We were like, no, it wasn't our nuke. It was their nuke. We were like, psych. We put down the Uno reverse card on them.
I
Yeah,
would
that's
like
exactly
it.
it.
As the
That is-
person that dispelled the magic, I did not know that it was gonna explode. Just like that on the record, please. We
I
didn't
would
know
like-
we were gonna nuke them. I thought it was just gonna stop.
I would like to go on record as saying, as the person that suggested, I can't remember what Rain cast on that spell multiplier device or whatever it was, but I remember us bringing it up, like, what'll happen if you like amplify
We
it during its
definitely
spell?
talked about that, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I was
Yeah.
like, maybe this isn't a great idea.
I want to go find that episode.
Definitely, it'd be worth
But
it.
we definitely had a conversation about that, and I believe it just ended up majority rule.
Yeah, there was a lot of debate on destroying the magical device, and it was like, oh yeah, it could take out like half the army. It was like, oh yeah, let's do that then.
Josh, why don't you organize our games? Why don't we have a playlist? Do you hate us?
Well,
I get very lazy and I need to organize it.
when we're no longer micromanaging, trying to stop fucking Haster from getting back in at every goddamn turn, apparently now, we'll go back and fix some things.
Wait, those sessions in the tower were actually so long ago that this is in the playlist. Never mind. I retract my statement.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure I was on top of it. I know I've been lazy for like the last 2
Okay.
months.
Okay. So I have found the discussion.
Oh
I will,
god.
I will be listening from here if anyone is interested.
Let us know how it goes.
I don't think there was much time to really examine the object, but it's like, yeah, catastrophic arcane happening might happen, bro.
I got a 22 to figure out what it was gonna do.
I told you it was an arcane bomb. Can't believe that Nate recreated the fucking Theramore Bay and fucking event from World of Warcraft. Just magical fallout everywhere. Alright. Last time on Ashes of Otren. After finally arriving back at the bodega and being able to put a couple of new trophies on the wall, came to knowledge that Ashton's family was there a few days ago. Now, unfortunately, some of the blue cloaks from Shishipaniki had been making issues, though the bodyguards as well as many of the barkeeps that are working there have been able to defend it appropriately. Though in the midst of this, his wife and daughter had been kidnapped. After hearing this information from the town gravedigger, who also informed you not to mess with one of the graves and promptly did, in which he fled for his life.
Well, we handled that.
Yeah. You quickly left from there after dealing with the Nightwalker that had been resubmerged back into its tomb, and went out to retrieve said family. In the short and gritty of it, you had arrived at this war camp thinking things would be fine, knowing soldiers as well were outside where the main commander tent was kept. Oh my god, so many. You animal. Hey.
I just want to make sure you're doing okay. I got a lot of monster bed.
Fucking. Oh my god. If I have to pee in the middle of this, I blame you.
It's fine.
Fuck. Alright. So, after meeting with Memrick, the Grandmaster of Tacticians, he had tried to forcefully coerce you into joining his cause of making a militaristic council that would be maintaining order over the lands and provinces here, being able to unite the 4 separated provinces from war to peace for the time, and that he would be on the council along with you, obviously knowing full well that he had your, well, Ashen's family captured, and especially after seeing what you did at Shishipaniki. It was at that point during the conversation that you had sent Ku and me, or me too, out behind the various lines to approach from one of the more less visually apt areas. After that situation was being handled and saw that the signal was sent out, quickly descended upon Memrick and tried to effectively remove him from play permanently. In the boldness of the situation, unfortunately you got to bear witness to some of the arrows that were raining down on you. Some absolutely savage designs that had started to pepper the group quite harshly. It was at this point that Memrick and Ashton had a significant clash between each other, and Memrick was actually wounded pretty grievously after the initial strike between each other, which at that point, backpedaling and getting his regiments into place, as well as the other curious Dragonborn that was coming around the corner, left Modar a little bit panicked as he assumed correctly that there was magic afoot. In which at that point, after a little more peppering and getting everyone to retreat back to each other after the rain of arrows was coming down on all of you, Memrick unleashed a extraordinarily powerful cold breath over the group, which at that point, some jumped to the conclusions that he could be a full dragon in disguise, and the fact that he wanted to be on the military council leaves the question of whether or not he could be trustworthy enough to be left in charge of some of the country or in the current position that he is at. So.
Oh, right. We ended up with an army in front of us and we dipped. I was like, what?
Yeah, a whole army in front of you, another army who's coming up from behind as well through the main gate that he would approach from. It was getting quite harrowing,
Yeah.
especially with the group getting peppered harshly. Some people at half health, others, having to deal with triage and make sure that they weren't dying outright, and Memrick dipping back to take a moment and heal himself.
Big baby. That's cheating. Enemies aren't allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to heal.
No.
That's impossible. But with that, after immediately dipping out, Thalos and Modar performed, the apocalypse in full action.
The shake and bake. The classic shake and bake.
Earthquake and tsunami at the same time against the army, leaving many dead on the field and quickly leaving...
Did you guys?
Yeah.
I thought that was the time I asked them not to.
Far as I recall, that went forward. They fucking 100% did that. So Shishu Paniki's army has been horrifically devastated after that. Obviously giving a huge gap of time, and those who survived to try and regroup and push back from the border that they were trying to shove into originally. So, buying a significant portent of time. It's at this point now, as you're back on the ship heading towards Onso, be able to meet back up with the Thin, as well as knowing that the Citadel with the Blood Hunters are also along the way. As you celebrate this victory in a way, as Myrna and Emery is safe in your arms, Ashton.
Actually, Ymir.
You mean? Oh, my bad. I had to zoom in.
Mayra and Ymir.
Actually.
Well, they're traditionally Irish names, so... Yeah, actually.
No, I figured as much.
We're all so impressed.
What? Oh. Wife and child looking at you. Where are we going to go that's safe? We can't go back to the bodega. If there's more of them, they would probably just come after us again.
I agree with your wife.
I agree with your beautiful wife.
Yeah, don't listen to that kind of story.
Hello, Salos, ma'am.
Casanova walks over like, what the?
Oh, what the? Where is this coming from?
But I do believe, I think at the end of last game, I was expressing concern that, like, look, it's not like he didn't know where to look for them. He plucked them, like, right off the road on their way to Bodega. Like, sending them back to Bodega. Like, yeah, we've got some defenses there, but unless we got, like, an early warning system where we can, like, teleport them out.
We are already on our way to Anso, and
Sure.
the most well-defended, magically powerful nation this world possesses. Unless something has sprung up while we've been here. I'm not sure how advanced the other parts of this world are. I glance around at the people who are from here.
Moda, I believe you are correct. I believe it will be safest with Grand Magister Befton.
If that's alright with you, Ashton.
Yeah. I'm missing key lore.
What side of the war was Anso on?
Anso was basically by itself. It was initially part of the kingdom, but then, especially when the runic stones started showing up, they seceded from the nation itself and refused to be a part of it, as they already started to see the corruption were completely ignored.
I was going to say, weren't they kind of like, not necessarily neutral, but like, don't drag us into what we don't want to be in?
Yeah. They basically took like the equivalent of a mage aristocracy, and we're like, we're making our choice, and we will stand here and help those who we can, but you're on your own. And not taking the, warning messages ahead of time.
They were Rivendell.
Yeah. The atypical
We
situations.
told you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what if there's anything else you should know about them.
He's one of, yeah, he's possibly like the most powerful rune user
Grand Magister
around.
vested.
Yeah. Not to mention a insane mage, like an archmage.
But I assume I would know that these people weren't involved in the war, right?
Correct. We know they have abstained from pretty much all forms of war there and have just been a neutral state.
And he helped the shit out of us.
He's the longest holding member of...
Oh, you were fucking telling me about these guys, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Josh specifically, because I was in his DMs. Hee
Oh. Oh my.
Wow.
Let me get into character real quick. Would anybody be heartbroken if Ashton lost his Irish accent? Because I hate doing it.
Oh
Let me
no!
wait, hold on. Let me just.
I
Yes,
will
well,
be heartbroken.
I wasn't until
I
you
won't-
said that.
Only if you have a reason for why you're switching.
Yeah, like
in
what's
character.
there needs a new one. There needs to be
I
a new
won't-
one.
Okay,
I
hold
won't
on.
be heartbroken, but I will say, dude, you do it wonderfully. Like it's one of my favorite
Bro.
accents I've heard. Dude,
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite things to hear. I gotta say.
It was
But
cool, but I didn't care.
And I am a whore. I am a whore for the people, so I'll keep the Irish accent.
no,
Yes.
I want you to switch accents, but make it like something outrageous. Like suddenly he talks like a man from like Nigeria or something.
No,
just like
that's
completely
alright.
opposite end of the world.
I don't have the color code for that for me to be comfortable.
Smart choice. Smart choice.
South African then.
So
Wow.
which is funny.
So just
I'm
bastard
also
British?
British. Yeah, I'm also British. Yeah.
Nate just got real.
It's one of the
Should
good
really-
jokes that I say, and then I
should,
sit back with a concerned expression.
Mhm.
Perhaps it'd be worth thinking about. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, as they say.
What basket would you prefer?
Clementines.
We can meet with Vefton, and then you can make a decision after you have met him yourself.
Well, if I'm being honest with you, I really thought the bodega would have been a good place to keep them.
And if that is your decision, then I will take them there myself.
Talos, the difficulty there is that I don't have a second place.
Best to keep them by your side for now.
Oh, I've got it. What connections with alternate planes do you have? We could just send them to like
I'm
somebody.
sorry?
You know, like it. You know, a friend that
Rev
lives in the
smacks his hand
element.
against his head.
You're so far away on the boat. How did you reach me?
I don't know.
Tiger
How
ears.
I don't really know exactly how to explain this to your friend. Normal people don't delve into the sorts of situations you found yourself in.
I'm quite abnormal, and I have no connections to other to other dimensions.
Really? I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, same here. I've been here my whole life.
Yeah, Ku, you're a little bit of a freak. And if Ku hasn't, if Ku doesn't have any chains to the other dimensions, it really should open up your perspective, Modar.
This is my nightmare. I hate this. I hate this bit.
You're the weird one.
I mean, okay. I mean, unless you'd like me to send them to my home, but that would be.
I'd like to have a moment to think about it.
Of course. Me, come here.
Okay.
And then I'll turn to like Mayra. I'll turn to Mayra and be like, "That's a clone of our friend Modar. He can't quite."
It's actually a simulacrum.
Gesundheit.
Sorry.
Could be many as him as he wants. That's cool.
Oh god, now you've got her wanting magic.
Well, here I've got this legendary spellbook that I'm not using anymore.
I will eat every single page out of that book if you hand that to me.
No, Modar would never. That's me making a joke. Apology.
Would he?
Hello.
Ramus is like, yeah, I think you guys got this, and goes to sit below at one of these tables. Obviously, he asks if Nero wants to join him, or if anyone wants to join him for that fact.
Nero would 100%.
We have cups of tea, because
Somebody was
somebody ruined it.
Because the party's going sober.
Just on the boat.
This feels like a really long episode of Always Sunny.
Well, if we want to get there any faster, let me know. I can make it happen. Oh, for some of us, not the ship.
How far are we?
2 days, because he had to backpedal, unfortunately.
This is day one, or?
Yeah, you guys literally just got back on the ship, and it's been like a couple minutes.
I immediately feel so much stronger.
When we get to Unso is the city of. I inform everybody actually. Unso is the city of great magic, not just because we're Grand Master of Eftian, but the city itself is very advanced. Meaning, if we have any shopping lists,
Oh god.
this is the place where we will find what we are looking for.
Might as well just leave now. See you next week.
Ashton, you have a wife.
The one and only.
Shopping list. It was a bad joke.
Oh, playfully being sexist, okay.
Yeah, I feel it's my right as a woman.
We can get new clothes. Up for a house.
If I might remind everyone, we do have a bit of pressing matters. Are you comfortable with with this discussion happening in front of your family? Perhaps we'd like to get them to a place more comfortable than the deck of an airship. Going to get much colder.
I'm certain that Arturius would be happy to give them a tour.
Right. I'll free up one of the cabins. This way, please.
Hey, wife and daughter. I know you were worried for your lives for a couple days. I came to save you. My friends are now going to escort you away from me.
Yeah, do you want to give him a moment with his family first? Before being like,
I
"You're
wish I
welcome,
thought
take
he
your
would
ass
take them
downstairs."
down. I thought Ashton would take them downstairs.
You just
yeah.
said we have important discussions that need to be had.
No, right. So and then I said, why don't we do that first? Get your family situated. Go take a moment, and then we'll talk. Because we have 4 days. We don't need to start working on stuff now. I'm just saying we shouldn't go shopping
No,
when we get there. Gotta say the Yellow King's name in front of a child.
Well, stop saying the Yellow King's name to begin with.
Just drive everyone insane, you know.
No, protect them as best as we can. It's like
You guys have been
inoculating them.
shanking Ashton with insanity, just being careless when you talk about this shit.
You saw him after that. It's
Yeah, I saw him, and then you guys went Hashter, and I still lost my fucking mind.
well,
I
after that
am-
one time, you're okay.
Unspeakable horrors.
You're good. No, buddy, no worries.
Oh yeah, that makes it all better.
We got
You're
your back.
traumatized. You're traumatized now. You can cycle it out. You're good.
It's fine. Yeah, just work through it.
I think Ashton's end goal is to get the entire party therapy.
He will try.
I will literally die first.
Men. Not
Yes.
even once. Not even once.
I do love the fact that I've gone for therapy and my therapist literally looked at me and is like, why the fuck are you here?
Trauma, motherfucker.
I have unconfronted trauma I want to talk about.
Why don't you go take a moment with your family, Ashton? I think it would be good for all of you.
I did. I'm down below deck with him.
They're having the time.
Reyna sort of reads the room and was like, yeah, let's. He taps Arteria said near him. I guess we're not staying here for long.
Probably not.
And he sort of, I guess, wake me up when we're ready to do whatever we need to do. He's going for a nappy nap.
Wake me up when so can't wake up.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, if everybody's gone,
Hero.
Alice will go to the front of the ship
Oh, she will.
and
I mean-
meditate.
Speaking of the ship tunnels.
I mean, are you gonna have your remote? Are we doing? Are we RPing the moment?
So, is something over there? So, are we going to be staying in the main city? You think
Who's
there's
asking?
Ashton's wife? You mean?
sorry.
Where do you think we would be safest? Probably there, or we could try one of the neighboring nations for the time.
Why don't you just enjoy the time for right now before we start thinking about such things?
Right. Just glad we all made it out of there.
They didn't. They didn't hurt you, right?
No, they seem to be more scared of hurting us than forcing us to be captured. I think one who was in charge was fairly adamant about trying to earn your favor, even if it was the underhanded side.
Yeah. Well, not very firm believer that kidnapping trumps a sit-down conversation over some pints.
I don't think you would ever do that.
Did you happen to know who that woman was? Seemed to be like a tactician of sorts.
From my understanding, did have a few conversations with her. She was called with the treasurer from Shishipaniki. She was quite adamant about trying to form a council. I heard their conversations a few times. Well, they kept us closer towards the center of the camp, but they weren't really letting us sit in on the councils or anything, so more or less in passing between her and Memrick.
Well, I don't suppose he'll be too happy with the footprint Talos and Lodar decided to leave behind.
All of those people were already dangerous. I don't know, even if they were supposedly serving the nation, if they would be fully trustworthy.
Would have been worth a talk. I'm in a war right now, Emir. And my biggest concern is making sure our home is someplace to come back to.
Do worry.
Worry for what?
Hearing the exploits at the tavern when I was waiting. Some rumors that passed through. Worry more that
Okay,
you're not coming.
Emir, whatever you heard, they're just stories. I was never a part of any of it.
Wow.
Brothel? What brothel?
You know how I love bards to spin their tails? I never took off the ring. I wear it over the gauntlet so all the women can see.
never doubted that before, but okay then. Should I be more concerned?
That's what I'm telling you. You don't have to be concerned.
Good. Is my main worry of you coming back at all, though. I'm not worried about the stories. I know they get exaggerated. It's like all your friends from the army. I'm talking about all the various wars. I don't have to worry about you coming home, right?
Of course.
Good. Just wanted to make sure that didn't change. And in between this, I'm gonna keep messing up until I get it right. Mira is, kind of, slightly distracted listening, but also holds out what looks like a cookie towards you as you see who has opened up a jar of cookies and is sharing it. She holds out one towards you.
You're gonna ruin her appetite. Oh my god. She gets
I'm
up.
sorry. Such a distract.
Mare, we've talked about this, Mare. Desserts after dinner.
Dad, I've been good.
I got rescued from
I didn't even swear at the people who took us.
Do I make Ashton a stereotypical military parent? Or do I make him a good dad?
Choices right on the spot now.
I mean, we just rescued her.
Alright, one.
She deserves a cookie.
All right.
She was held hostage.
See here, take a big bite of the.
You can have one cookie before dinner.
Yes. You did. So, did you beat him before you left?
Did I what?
Beat him.
What'd she say?
The fight that broke out.
Oh.
They heard some fighting, but they didn't see it.
Did you give him a reach around?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Did you beat him?
Mera, not all things are so easy to paint.
So it's like a draw then?
No. I let a lot of anger fuel my blade, and that's always a loss for me.
I mean, you're coming after me and Mommy, so it shouldn't, be an issue.
Sometimes mere good people do bad things in what they think is a good deed. And I just want to make sure Mimerick isn't one of them people.
I'm sure you didn't make a mistake, though. That was pretty mean. He was yelling at people.
Yeah, it's a big poopy pants, right? Big stinky poopy pants.
Nice one. I'm sure there's a lot Daddy has to catch us up on as we travel.
So are we having dinner on this boat? On this airship? Is it dinner time-ish?
Yes. It'd be definitely dinner time-ish towards the end for all that. As Ashton is able to catch up more with his daughter and so, with the day proceeding forward, those of you getting your long rest able to meet up for dinner, hearing the your vigilantly training. Are able to continue your trek. Is there, if there's any particular conversation you want to have before heading towards Onso, or, well, I would mention Onso, and then unless you want to change course.
No, we're definitely going on to Onso.
All right.
See the wizard.
I think towards the end of the first day, I would like to sit down with anybody that wants to discuss our travel plans.
Hello.
And Thalos. If Thalos is trying to get out of that, he's not getting out of that.
Oh no, yeah.
But like, when Emir and Mara are like put to bed, so they don't have to partake.
Stealing one of the rooms.
You have a concern of some sort, Ashton.
Is this something everybody should be involved in? Should be involved in then?
Well, yeah, I said anybody who's interested in our travel plans. I'm gonna cry. I hate my Wi-Fi.
I thought you were gonna say you hate your wife. I was like, whoa, buddy. We just rescued her.
I was hoping she was... What the fuck?
I Rain, I pass you up a mug, like a tankard, but it has coffee instead of alcohol, because this is a dry ship.
Says you.
Oh,
We threw all the liquor off the boat. It's all gone.
So you
You-
think?
Rain pulls out her secret stash.
Remus goes feral. So, what was it you wanted to talk about, Ashton?
Or is everybody down in the that room?
Yeah. User. Ashton is typing.
Do we have any small cups on the boat? Like smaller cups?
Yeah. I mean, Ku has cups for his size, so he'll happily hand those out.
So No, I do not. Never mind. I guess we're having some coffee. Or whatever. I'm having like a Capri Sun or something.
Alright.
Capri Sun.
A Capri Sun.
What
flavor?
Some juice.
Just imagining a weird tiger trying to puncture that pouch.
Oh my god, holding the tiny little
with
straw
tiny
with
little
his
straw.
claws.
Yeah.
Yes, oh my god.
Okay, I more have like 4 Capri Suns, but they're with my pinky. I make the whole.
Little poke.
Ramus makes me think of one of those kids that would cut the bottom open and drink it like a cup. Pinky
No,
claw,
he would
just stab it.
definitely. He would definitely try to obsessively do just the whole, but no straw. He'd like turn it upside down and just squeeze it like a fucking. Like they drink Gatorade in commercials.
But Ramus is not a Gatorade fan.
No, but like he has it up, like squeezing it down instead of just using a fucking straw or putting into a cup. He's
What
just
would-
like, I'm going to do this the hardest way I can just because I don't think of the other ways.
You know, there's this tonic that they make in the Plane of Fire, and it's not really coffee, but everybody calls it fire coffee. Fucking a shot glass of that always start the best way to start my morning, especially before a big case.
That's weird. I got this thing that's called Fireball from there.
That magic?
Oh no.
Holds up a bottle.
What? There's so much more alcohol on this ship than I thought there was.
Well, I cook with this.
Oh my god. Is that why everything tastes like hot ones?
You ever make a rum cake?
Red Hots? No.
Really good. But I'm distracting from the point.
While Ashton is tucking his children into bed. Well, his child into bed. Is there anything else anyone wants to bring up? Once we get to the city, we'll have to take care of our business as fast as possible, and then move on. Our stop after Anso. I look to Ramus. We go after your clan, correct? The other Bloodhunters.
Yes. They should have or know where the mirror is.
Good. Oh
I
gosh,
feel like that's probably our next. We need to find Jin, but we need to break this mirror.
agreed. mirror
I-
must be first priority.
I can't imagine that we'll have much luck unless we have maybe another runestone, though.
Moda, you are perhaps not incorrect.
We got squished.
We did.
Yes, but the mirror will stop him from coming into materializing physically into this plane.
But how do we ensure that we make it to the mirror? Moda is speaking thoughts that I've been considering myself.
I mean, unless we're running into him again, we've proven we can pretty much handle things up to an army. Literally at this point.
I mean, yeah.
Perhaps we should be trying to recruit an army then.
Do we have time for another side quest?
Well, I mean, we're already going on, so how many wizard knights can you offer us?
Yeah, and maybe see what Commander Zhang is doing.
I don't want to bring that poor man into this, I'll be honest.
I mean, they were putting together an army for Shishipanik, but didn't we kind of throw a monkey in their wrench?
That is true.
Yeah, but this is God. He's just like a dude.
I know, but he also has peons and people and armies working for him or enslaved to him, and we can't fight. We can fight him, but we're probably still gonna have to fight the other shit, you know? Unless we
Aramis?
can.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, there you go.
Hi.
He's alive.
Yeah, we had to reset the router everybody was experiencing.
That's
Lag.
rough.
What'd I miss?
Oh, we just said you were like tucking your kids in the bed. We're just talking about next steps.
Possible armies.
Discussing needing an army if we're gonna take out the Yellow King. Because it will be hard to find Jin to get the stone, even though that is the easiest power upgrade we have.
That's also it's time we don't necessarily have right now. I'm sure some way we'll randomly intersect our goals and catch up to him, but I doubt right now that should be number one.
Moda, speaking of time, are there any spells that would give you dominance over time? The extra time we need to do some of the things we might not otherwise have time to do.
I'm familiar. It's a bit expensive, but I could learn that spell.
Let's keep it on the
Oh,
back of another
hold,
round.
hold on. Now we're talking about messing with actual time.
Think about it pausing it briefly.
I mean,
And
that'd
does
be
that
pretty fucking
affect
awesome.
Others?
I'm not well versed, but my
Yeah,
studies
see, that's the part that.
would indicate that it is only effective for the person casting it, and it would only last a few seconds. I mean, not more than half a minute. Enough
And
time
how
to.
long is that in that slowed time?
No, that would be how it would stop completely for everyone but one person. And they
For
would have 30
seconds.
and they would have 30 seconds. Up to
So
30 seconds.
essentially,
A
it
minimum of
speeds
12
them up.
seconds.
It doesn't necessarily stop time; it speeds that person up. No,
It's called stop. It's called time stop.
I know. I'm just being.
What about, as you said before, your connection to other dimensions?
Oh sure,
Are there any dimensions that move slower than our own?
Josh.
Oh, this is even better. Yeah.
For dimensions that move slower. Especially.
Ramus now feels what Ashton felt when he first joined us. It's like,
30 for Arcana.
what the fuck? Are we really having this discussion?
Oh. Get my own history books out here real quick, because there's a solid check. Well, ignoring Elysium, because I doubt any god in their right mind would allow you into Elysium. Ones that would be slower: Acheron, Erebora, Ygor, Limbo, certain parts of Pandemonium. With that, as well as Gehenna, Hades, parts of the Abyss, as well as there was Metopia.
Parts of the Feywild.
Yep.
Okay. So there are a lot, but
Some very violent and dangerous.
if you were gonna give me the slowest,
The slowest would definitely be in Pandemonium. But you know Pandemonium's a very huge gamble. As definitively the realm of chaos.
anything can happen.
To best describe it, because especially with a 30, you would know that Mechanicus tried to tame the realm of Pandemonium and ended up having his own invention corrupted by it, because the elemental chaos of that realm is just unfucking couth to the point where even gods cannot tame it.
Yeah. Well outside of our reach.
There are definitely sectors there where time slows to a fucking crawl, to where somebody could pass like 1,000 years and finally come out, and it's only been maybe a year, maybe a month for them, depending on what section of that field is tampered with. But of course, escaping that would take even longer, because the 1 second that it would take you to start casting something in that time frame to escape that realm could probably be a week.
I will relay all of this information, Jim.
Okay, well, Thalos is considering something as Ashton walks in.
In my jammies.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Jams.
Them warm onesies.
Ashton, what is it that you wish to speak to us all about?
Oh, everyone's here. I didn't think I'd get this far.
Of course I'm here. I make dinner.
So the Yellow King. I don't think, no matter how powerful you believe yourself to be, we as individuals will not be able to storm that castle. There are people in this country even that can make you sweat. Memrick being one of them. I know you have no intention, perhaps, of involving anyone. But it is my experience that if you're going to fight a king, you're going to need an army.
Elos smiles knowingly at the fact that, I mean, Ramus pretty much just said the exact same thing before he walked in.
Oh yeah, I think you get disconnected, right?
Got disconnected as that conversation started.
Yes, yeah, my Wi-Fi was
But yeah,
fucking up.
I essentially was like, well, we should probably start doing that, you know? We have a couple of people.
But we don't need to assemble only gods. I have connections across the land from being in the king's army. I'm thinking of petitioning for lordship.
I mean, whatever you can get. We have someone that we worked with in our early days of this unfortunate situation that we helped out. Who had was it what you call them an army? I guess.
He could provide a vanguard.
Yes.
As you've pointed out, Ashton, we do not want to throw these people's lives away.
In fact, Ashton, you may in fact know this man. You said you fought for the King of Otren during the war?
And before, yeah.
The fellow's name is Commander Jang. Are you familiar?
Think. Do I know Commander Jang?
Roll me a history check, because he wasn't exactly Kingsguard.
Oh, no, I wouldn't then. I'll give that to you. No. My time in the army, I did not fraternize with sellswords.
He was no sellsword. As far as I know, he was not a sellsword. Regardless, he and several others have gathered the remnants of Otren and formed an army of the refugees down in the old lands. Some of your old contacts may be there as well. I don't know where that accent's going. Sorry. But some of your old contacts might be there as well.
There is something I'm going to propose to you. And it's going to happen. Or at least I'm going to give my hand in the efforts. Whether you decide to pursue the Yellow King by yourselves or not. A king needs to return to that throne.
Wait, are you fucking Aragorn in our boat?
I have no intention of becoming king of the nation.
Oh, but you will.
Is there a broken sword somewhere that we're gonna have to put together that everyone's gonna start bowing before you and shit?
Oh shit, this is when we combine all of our rune weapons into the one rainbow stone.
I was gonna say
Excalibur emerges.
I was gonna say summon Captain Planet, but that's a better idea. I like the sword thing.
There's an heir. A bastard child.
What? We were assured that there was no heir. Isn't that why the war began?
Well, politicians play their games, Talos.
And soldiers speak the truth.
I want to give efforts to find this child. Put them back on the throne. And I wish to speak to Memoric. He and I... There's history. Ashton will move on from that.
Another side quest? Okay. Do you know anything more about this kid? Are we getting a sword handed to us from a lake, or are we pulling it out of a stone?
It is I. I am the heir. No, just.
Oh my god.
He's
You're
been
neither-
half man the whole time. Dallas has been the secret king.
The king of coral upon his throne.
I couldn't tell you where he's at. I can't tell you, but I know if he's been unknown for so long, he doesn't play this Game of Thrones.
Boo.
He'll be a man of the people. And if he's not, Well, they called me the Kinslayer for a reason.
I don't believe it was the reason we thought it was.
What was the reason you thought it was?
Well, I thought it's because you slayed some of your kin.
No, I ended a high noble's entire family line.
But you can
During the
certainly
war.
understand why there would be a misunderstanding.
Well, maybe you should ask next time. You right bastard.
Is it still do we have time to do that? Aren't there demons?
The mirror must be our first priority. But
Well, let's see where the mirror leads us, and if it's along the way, then we definitely possibly try to stop, you know? We're gonna have to fit that in somewhere. We are gonna need a fucking army. It's gonna be something we're gonna have to deal with sooner or later.
we intended to speak with Jang. Perhaps we could inform him.
Yeah, but that's not, well, maybe he can help us find the kid, but
How would you go about searching for the heir, Ashton? Where would you start?
The capital? And the king's closest man.
Lodar pulls a face, imagining like 11 other fucking Ashtons.
I believe Ashton wasn't even that high ranking in the military.
He wasn't.
He was-
Nemric was
he was
even
just-
higher.
Yeah, he was just a good fucking soldier.
Sorry, I thought you were on Kingsguard, my bad.
There's many levels. He's Kingsguard by guarding the castle directly.
Yeah.
Cool.
I stayed loyal to the throne after the king fell.
Yeah, the elite guard are the ones who directly escorted the king.
After Jamie stabbed him in the back.
Did you mention the fact that I don't want to mention it if you didn't, but do we know, did you say anything about the fact that Memric may have been a higher rank than you in the Kingsguard? Or is that just something you know?
I don't think Ashton specifically said that.
Okay. Then I
But
won't
he-
say anything.
Yeah, several times he said this conversation, and then it was implied earlier in Memric and Ashton's meet that they know each other.
Perhaps there's another member of the Kingsguard that has information. When we speak with Jang, we will certainly clue him in to look for any Kingsguard that may remain. I support your efforts. You must stay on task, onto Unso, and then for the mirror.
This is good and important for the land. Having a king is important. Right.
Yes.
Ah.
Better than Memric's alternative.
Artorias kind of pipes in like, would it be as the four providences would have to cease their war and respect and either secede or pay homage to the new king?
Oh, stopping war is good. Okay, good. Let's do that then.
And you may have provided us a way to stop the war between men. Our focus, however, must be the war with the demons.
And what if we die?
Well, like I said, we've been working on a solution for that.
Your solution that bends mortality so you can become gods.
No, just so that we get a second try.
Plenty of
You
men I've
you
killed
died
don't
and
get
came
back.
back. This is the same thing, sorta.
I never asked to die, and I never asked to come back.
No one asked to die.
Yeah, but I do have a
Modok
question.
turns to the camera. If you or a loved one are experiencing
Mesothelioma.
Not even the suicide awareness, just
Justin.
Or diabetes.
Diabetes. I do have a
866.
question. Obviously not assuming the worst or direct failure. Me just chiming in as a multi-death experiencer along with Ashton.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Everybody clap for the cleric moment.
What of the runes?
What do you mean, what of the runes?
I mean, does this spell bring our equipment with us if we do fail?
That is a good question.
No. This would be so that we could warn everyone else that the apocalypse is coming.
So that's not very helpful.
That's
I mean, it's helpful.
a lot more terrifying to hear out loud.
I haven't set it up yet, but given enough time, I could set it up so that we could have devices that would summon back our objects. It's called a contingency.
I would appreciate that a lot. Like, wholesale a lot, even if I'm not the one with said equipment and going directly down there, as my daughter wishes to bring me. Just, worry of extraordinarily powerful magics being left in a place where, extraordinarily dangerous creature or his people, whatever they might be, might have access to it.
Yeah, if we're gonna die, I'd rather either not leave these things where they are, or it'd be nice to figure out a way to get them back to us.
The runestones at the least.
Doesn't that fall into the... I believe that would fall into the responsibility of those of us who survive. Try our best to collect our fallen comrades' precious things.
It'll take a barrel of sapphires, but we could do it.
Sure, I at least hope the Grand Magister would be apt for that. As you guys see him, practically swallowing at the thought and the price of a barrel of sapphires to enchant
For each thing, if it's your armor, we gotta do it in 10-pound segments.
Oh god.
I'm gonna say, with due respect, armor and weapons, I'm not too worried about. The runestones, absolutely.
Agreed.
Anyone else?
I mean, runestones, these weapons probably shouldn't be in those hands either. But
without the runestones, they can't be fully activated.
no, but they do a lot of damage before that too. If we could, in manner of speaking, if we could somehow destroy them, I think that would be even better. Like, destruct on death, but I don't know if that's something we could do.
That depends if we think a disintegrate magic would work on objects. Alternatively, I could set it up so that they are pulled into a gate spell. I could chain several contingencies and Dramage's instant summons together, so that they're pulled into a gate spell that opens to the sun.
Oh god. Nira is just kind of nodding. Like, I like the sound of that. That sounds like an excellent plan. Like, who the fuck's going to the sun?
Did you know, actually, that the sun doesn't radiate fire? It actually does radiant damage. Something I learned in class. Stupid as fuck.
She looks at you like, I don't believe that.
Here, let me cast Gate real quick.
What the fuck is fire and radiant damage?
They're the classifications for spells.
It's just pain.
Yes, but one scorches, and the other is will give you lasting damage and affects your cells at a Don't worry about it.
Explaining the concept of radiation.
Let me know if I've gone if I'm going too far with the sigil
No, I mean sigil
bullshit.
is very much that. They do have multi-planar gates that have to deal with that shit all the time. It is the city of doors.
My unseen servant brings me some more coffee.
The nature of whether or not the weapons can be destroyed are one of the many questions I have for Grand Magister Baptin.
And
That
we
is
can replicate somehow.
Precisely. That and the nature of the runestones themselves. We have 3 days more to think about it. Unless, of course, you want to go now.
Huh?
We could. Or 8 of us could. Just saying.
The options are nearly endless.
I would not ask Ashton to leave his family
Of
so
course.
soon.
Then I would suggest we all get some rest.
Some of you have been very quiet. Rain, Ashiki, are you? What do you prefer?
I'm pretty fluid. I'm just gonna go with the majority here.
No, yeah, I'm not particularly interested in making group decisions. I think Ashiki's down to kind of follow.
So we're going to sleep for 3 days. Wake up.
Pretty much. We'll set watch.
One moment.
I'm gonna do arcane experiments on my runestone.
Oh, let's see. What would be the limitations of the experimentation that you'd be doing?
I have Nistol's magic aura, so trying to use that to manipulate the way that the magic presents, as well as trying to see if I can, what effects a dispel magic has on it. If I can counterspell the activation of some of the powers of the runestone and combined with the sword.
Especially for the travel, just go ahead and give me 3 Arcana checks as you proceed with these testings. easily enough. First 2 days, obviously, on the basic rotation. Out of curiosity of knowing, especially for magic items, in certain ways to destroy magic or disrupt it, even stabilize it if it's wild. Going through the atypical base rotations, certain ones that react to it, different elements, different locations. Not till the third day, as you're getting closer towards Hanzo, that you have a good portent of a breakthrough, where, especially going over the elemental types and almost muting these forms, realizing that the dispel magic does mute it for a time, but it only temporarily makes it vulnerable. But you see almost a visceral reaction if it were to be possibly enveloped in radiant energy. You would
I don't know that I have the ability to produce that, except, like, well, no, yeah, I would not be doing, like, sunbeam onto this thing.
The only other thing that you could think of, obviously, the joke of going straight to the sun, which would be horrifically dangerous. The other option is between gate of opening that and sending such items towards the plane of positive energy. Much knowing how the gateways to the plane of negative energy would usually kill something through necrosis and desiccation. The plane of positive energy would be able to reverse most of that, but also, especially this being an eldritch being in an unnatural state, would purge its existence along with everything there within. Nothing would be able to survive, as this item would collapse in on itself if it sat in there long enough.
Okay. Did I have any ability to recreate the aura at all?
Recreating the runestone's aura?
Yeah, like I have Nistel's magic aura, so I could make something that is non-magical appear to a detect magic spell as if it were a magic of a specific aura.
But that is...
Not exactly trying to make a fake, but more like trying to use that to determine every aspect of magic that this thing has in it.
That is definitely within your purview. As for the various amounts of the runestone itself, it seems to have just about every various type of magic there is mixed into it. The strange stability and harmonization of these stones. Some obviously much more emboldened to one type or element, depending on who's basically imprisoned there, but the one most prevalent to your attention and knowledge there is the one that almost emulates the imprisonment spell. Almost like these are small runic prisons to hold everything in and refuse relinquishment from that. The one that's most forthright in that situation,
Pay you. Pay me what?
especially since it's from your particular school of magic. Minimus containment. Where you know that it would usually shrink a target down to 1 inch and imprison them within a gemstone or a similar object that light can pass through. The gemstones are usually the one entailing that. This has been done on a much more grand ritualistic level of magic, obviously performed by what many might not consider a god, but basically godlike powers. This took a wealth of time to craft.
Incredibly powerful beings. Okay. On the last day, I will share my findings with Talos.
Alright.
It seems we have neither the time nor the power.
But I do think I might have a way to get rid of them if we needed to. But I don't have any indication that that would hurt their creator.
It would take further time to study.
Perhaps it is enough that they would be out of the hands of men. We've almost arrived. We can present our findings to Befton as well. Let's gather the others.
I'll also say that as you are traveling, Artorias comes to you right now. He'll knock on the cabin door.
Does he have a
Would
rune?
you-
Wait, I don't remember. Does he have a runestone or no?
Artorias, no. He's just been a well-skilled paladin.
So if I ignore the knock, wait.
I mean, he does knock, see, you know, if you come over to you. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to.
I'm gonna snort extra loud to make it seem like I'm sleeping.
Roll me a quick deception check at advantage, because
Fail this. Okay, what kind of check?
deception.
Deception. How about a 16?
And his is an insight.
Damn.
Just. So, with a little bit of an exasperated sigh and kind of being at the door, you don't have to look at me, Blaine, but I want to still say I'm sorry for leaving you and your brother back at the estate as I did. I still don't know what happened to both of you, but I pray it could be fixed and that we can at least still save brother together. Don't ever really expect you to truly forgive me, but hopefully I can find some middle ground to start again somewhere.
Out of character, I want to cry. But in character, she's gonna stay silent and pretend to be sleeping. I think she's a bit of a grudge holder, and the lack of alcohol probably isn't helping.
What?
Yeah, no, it's understood.
Yeah,
Fair,
no.
double cranky situation.
Y'all trying to have deep conversations sober? What the fuck? So yeah, Rain's just gonna not answer, but she's listening.
I'm sure you're tired, but I'll stay on the ship. And stay out of the way of you and your friends who obviously done a much better job than I have as a family.
Motherfucker.
I mean, I didn't say that out loud. I didn't say that out loud. I'm saying it to be clear.
This dude's coming with us. We're adopting another Pokemon.
We don't have any more spaces for Delacroix, okay?
That's fair.
There's a limit of 2, and one is
Yeah.
on temporary hold.
Yeah, and this one hits like a truck also, so.
Yeah. As he's kind of, starting to back away from it, like, go ahead and roll me a perception check real quick to see if you can hear what he kind of mumbles as he shrinks away from the door.
17?
I would say 17 would be able to catch it. So kind of trails off, realizing or assuming that you're not going to open the door, and just proud of you.
Oh.
You hear him start
Again,
walking away.
out of character. But yeah, Rain's bitchy. Don't talk to her, guys.
It's fair. I swear I'm bitchy. I'm not crying.
Poor,
You're
poor
crying.
dry owl. Right?
So. As the 3 days proceed, unless there's other interactions that anyone else would like to have. The only other thing I will say is, Ashiki.
Yes.
You can hear those soft, tantalizing whispers almost calling to you from the bag where the rapier is.
Oh, I gotta get that bag.
Isn't it technically in another dimension?
Oh,
It is not in a bag. It is in the tiny chest that I create with a
That's
spell.
true, the
Put
tiny
in the
chest.
astral plane with a spell.
But you do hear those.
There is a very small, like, a version of it made of ivory or something.
Whichever Modar chose the material to be made of, I believe. But yes,
Yeah.
you feel those little tingles tickling at the back of your mind to get it again. With that proceeding forward, you would arrive at Anso. You do see quite a few more airships have been kept in place to maintain some guard, as well as the other factor of, well, it seems that some of the borders have been under larger threat on the current circumstance. As far as you can tell, it seems that Belruzo has been pushing more aggressively towards Anso, trying to get them to interact in the war, at least somewhat, or have a form of a reaction.
Is Paul still mad that I almost killed him last time?
And she brought it back up.
I mean, I didn't say anything to his face. I'll just, settle up to him and pretend like I'm trying to be useful.
Polikane's not really mad. He's kind of more or less just like, wow, holy shit, my life was almost over for Moe.
That's right. Don't forget it.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was an honest mistake, and I will never do that again, ever.
Sober rain is
To you,
dangerous.
I mean, grouchy.
Sure.
Until the time it happens again. That will never do
I
it
don't
again.
appreciate the lack of faith, but whatever.
God.
We absolutely believe
Have
Thank you.
all the
Thank
faith
you
in the
very
world.
I appreciate the support.
I collect everyone real quick. Sliding on over. As obviously,
I refuse to be slid.
I will not be slid. You cannot make me. Lap dashing everyone to place.
No.
No! No! As Vethden would allow your ship to land close towards the Grand Magister's castle, recognizing the ship that was originally gifted to you as thanks for bringing his daughter back.
Hey, the one who was trying to get her cheeks is no longer in the party.
As you do see, as I will also have to slide this one, and another. For welcoming you in, Prakadash is there as well,
I'm there.
opening the doors in the way for you as you see Vethden sitting in his throne on the main entryway in the main hall. Immediately standing up ecstatically to see that you're all well. My friends, I'm glad to see that you're all well still.
Same for you. Seems a little more crowded.
Definitely take notice that you have grown in number. Does make my heart swell to know that the runestone holders have not shrunk over time. Please, make your way in. I've ordered the chef to make extra on the banquet tonight. Curious what brings you here. I can only fathom what business is going to be brought to my attention now.
Thank you for welcoming us, the Grand Magister. There is much to discuss. I also give a secret pound to Trakadash, my man.
He'll fist bump you back like, it's been a while. Glad to see you doing well. As he will bid welcome to the others who are taking their time to enter.
Apologies, I can't see. I'm refreshing.
Oh, that's fair. It is a mighty map.
Apologies, I can't see.
Oh no, do you not have vision? No, you don't. Why is... Hold on, I'm gonna save that right now.
Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see.
One of the greatest songs ever written.
Let me quick edit and save that. Hopefully that stays this time. Alrighty. So.
Sorry about that, Josh. Just so you know, I did. I hand this sort of list of potential items. If Trackadash could let me know if he can track any of that down. That way we don't have to
Right away.
run out.
I'll go and get a shopping list done.
If anyone has it available, just let us know how much it costs, and we'll either ante up or we'll all just look really shocked and say never mind.
I'll be sure to get it at least reserved for a day, so there's time.
I appreciate it.
Trackadash will quickly make way out towards the stables and get the coach made. But
See you, Grand Magister.
and you too, Moda. It was an interesting time. I still find great dismay that your entry into my city originally is still quite a marring piece, unfortunately. I hope it is going to be made up for with what we need to discuss.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, it wasn't Modar the first time we came here with them, was it?
Because I didn't.
Yeah.
But it was here that it happened.
Yeah, and then
So I
Modar
met
came
him.
back here. Yeah,
Yeah.
Modar
Right,
came
right,
back,
right.
and yeah, he said he'd do everything he could to help Modar get
It
back.
happened
but
in
I,
the streets.
yeah, the streets.
All of real life happens in the streets.
Always the streets, bro.
Grand Magister, if you have not already been informed, Pelgrim is dead. We stopped him we stopped him in the midst of performing a ceremony to summon his god Mammon. Well, his demonic lord Mammon.
Ramos giggles and plays with a couple of teeth he has on a necklace.
I'd like to speak to him.
I will say that it is definitely already a celebration. With that huge success, I would imagine this is for being able to return our good friend back home then, as he pats Modar on the shoulder.
Indeed. But while this should have been a great victory, instead we found ourselves randomly running up against the King in Yellow himself. We discovered that there may be a way to dissociate him from our dimension. But in investigating this and seeking an old friend, we unfortunately found a sacrificial pyre. Children who'd been slaughtered in the name of the Yellow King, and the Yellow King himself in the lands of the Delacroix estate. And I can't exactly remember which country it was in.
The Delacroix estate is in the Otren province.
It's in West Bubblefuck.
Yes.
I thought it was an east.
It is.
Fuck.
It is an east.
Oh, sorry.
You remembered correctly.
Sorry, you
Mana.
just get turned around.
That was a dumb joke. I was about to follow up with, "Oh, my letters have been going to the wrong place," but now oh man.
So it is with that, a greater sense of urgency and haste, that we need your help. Multiple things have happened. One, our encounter with the King in Yellow. He attempted to manipulate us. He has tempted some of us with yet another item of his creation.
Shifts uncomfortably.
I didn't name names. I'm
I
gonna try, but
I sort of interrupt. We found the sword. Well, we took it from his corpse.
His eyes kind of go wide at that statement. His personal sword.
to be fair,
Yes, if you know a way to tell it bitch bye so nobody ever sees it again, that would be greatly appreciated.
It infects most who come into contact with it. He attempted to get us to use the sword to slay Pelgrim. He thinks he can control us, and the truth is, I draw the green runestone. These powerful implements, they are a part of him. In addition to our other business, I have to ask you, have you ever found a way to dissociate the link to the King in Yellow? Or even to replicate the power of a runestone without his influence?
Is there anything we could do to purify them?
As he kind of hears this conversation, he looks at his daughter and his right-hand advisor. Excuse me, ladies, but please, as he kind of makes a gesture for them to leave the room. You can see his daughter looks fairly surprised. Obviously, not a lot of secrets have been kept from her. Advisor looks a little disgruntled, but they will shuffle off and give you the court in private as the doors will be closed.
Shovel, before you go, apologies. Might you bring Amer and Myrna to the library? I think they would find it most interesting.
Of course. And
I look to Ashton if that's cool.
Yeah, I'll just boss my daughter and get her out of here.
Don't worry, Dad. I'll find a storybook.
Your kiddo.
I'll find one that not gonna be as great as you, but I'll still try and find one close.
Oh, shucks.
Look at this one. It's bound in some sort of strange...
Carlos, I'm having a moment with my daughter.
Sorry, brother.
This is called the Grimoire Infinitus. It contains all of the knowledge in the universe.
Why does this one have teeth on it?
oh, so you can feed it.
Namakan?
Oh, like a convention.
Necronomicon ex mortis. Need a
Y'all have
spoon on
to-
one this dealer.
You're all gonna have to start calling me Ash.
Oh,
Hell
God.
yeah.
He's the perfect
lose a
lineup
hand.
for it.
Don't worry. I know it's more or less nation's issue.
They will both accompany Sharon to the library. But after such, the doors are closed and locked. All others who would be on the upper floors leave for the various guards, and it is just you and Beth. Well,
So we update them with what we're doing, I guess.
for the main disconnect first, that was the initial question.
What was that?
For Thalos' initial question for when he was curious if there would be a way to disconnect.
Oh, right.
Oh, wait, hold on. Ramus, can you sweep the room? Like, listen out, make sure nothing's, like, creeping around, invisible, or... Remember when, oh.
There we are. Modar goes blind. Everything's better. No. But yeah, there is a absolute fuck ton of magic here between the sconces, the tables. There's even cleaning stones in the floor that keep the palace sparkling. It's kind of like being back at Sigil for a moment in one of the noble courts. But you do not find any illusion magic or any of the sorts that would hide someone.
Dope.
You do see Veth is glowing like a fucking archangel when you briefly glaze over him.
I pull out arcane shades.
Yeah, literally. I have run my own experimentations with dead runestone that I still have. And I would say that there is no permanent disconnect. The jewels themselves, as much as many would be considering it cursed, and the fact that I have kept mine so close to me, and especially using its power to protect my nation, would be made from the blood of Hastur. These jewels have been crafted from his very essence.
How did he get the how do you get the beings into them?
Well,
Powerful abjuration magic.
precisely. I see you've begun studies on them already.
Oh, don't worry, I've got some. Me and you can talk. We've got some things. No, yeah, Rose asked for his help, I guess, after. No, we'll not get to that yet. Let's deal with this now.
If you were to have someone willing to sacrifice themselves to it to alter the nature of the stone, which is where many of the council had gone awry. Unfortunately, it is a very shameful time period. The Moon Councils. The reason why many of those hold good-natured creatures within inside them.
And the not so good natured.
Those who decided to manipulate or use them as their intended purposes as prisons. Creatures that had a bad habit of returning. Runestones themselves do dwindle the spirit. But it takes a significant amount of time depending on the strength of the soul, but it is still dwindling a person's existence forthright.
How did you overcome it? You wielded your stone for so long.
You see his face kind of almost pained by that question and statement.
What was the statement? I didn't hear that.
His face showed pretty much a grimace of pain at that question and statement from Talos.
I know, I didn't hear what Tal was saying.
Oh,
I asked him how he did it, how he's wielded his stone for so long without being whittled away.
my wife. She saw what it was doing to me. Took it upon herself to make sure that it would stop. See him kind of gently holding the silver runestone.
Sorry for your loss.
It's a very dour reminder of what power does to someone who's not ready for it. Well, that was my own downfall. Thankfully, I had someone there to save me from that precipice. Others that originally held those runestones either sacrificed themselves to it or did what they could to lock it away. Hide them, put them in crypts as he kind of gestures towards Uramus. Bury them in old battlefields that others would not go looking for or be swarmed by the very dead that guard them. Thankfully, many of those who were good-natured were willing to step forward, but obviously not all were purified. I assume by the fact that we are missing the red one, that there was an unfortunate demise in such a case on this matter.
Jin has not died. However,
We were led to believe that for a while, but
the
I
Yellow
don't know if
King,
it's better or worse. But some
the Yellow King created a simulacrum of some sort. Led us to believe we were fighting Jin. It was a lie. But when we sought to find Jin, it seems that he may be in league with a former enemy of ours, Dorian Seville. I'm not sure if you're familiar. Don't know if it is the corruption of the gem, or if perhaps Dorian has ensorcelled him.
I assume then you're intending to take these matters, finish them, try to do better where we fell short.
Yes. Which is why I asked before whether or not you considered creating your own runestone, something beyond the corruption of the King in Yellow.
You see, Bifton gives heavy pause, studying each and every single one of you as cautiously as he can. It would not be as powerful, as I have not had the time to be able to finish it. I had hoped my daughter would be able to finish my craft for me. I'm not proud to admit this, but I saw it as a penitence that once she came of age to be queen here, the next Grand Magister, that on my stepping down, the silver runestone destroyed, and As atonement for my wife, her time walked away when she's freed. I would become the next stone. I would aid our daughter in protecting this great city.
You would become.
The runestones have always run souls. Mine would be my atonement, almost falling to the corruption that I fought against, and that cost my wife.
Everybody kind of seems surprised, it seems, except Ramus, who kind of already knew this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Your city needs you. Power such as yours, it's irreplaceable. No offense to your daughter, but without you, Hansel cannot stand.
I cannot live forever. And I do not want to become jaded over time by extending my life well beyond what it should be.
We are temporary, and did you all really believe there was no sacrifice for this power?
As I said, when my time comes and my daughter is trained, that is not for a great many a year. But yes, I do have my own project that I have been working on, well hidden away. Obviously, I do not have the intention of sacrificing my people to protect the future of this nation. If it were to be on the bearing of sacrifice, may it be thy leader only. People.
What of another soul? Some of these runestones contain great power, and some souls may deserve to be trapped.
I would say yes, that some do deserve it. Even if it is being erased from existence slowly, eaten. Even enacting that on an enemy is a heavy price on one's conscience.
And Ramus again looks down at his arm.
Alice looks like he lowers his gaze.
You got the fucking dad lecture, bro.
Of course, I know those who are ready to take such prices and guilt as their punishments. But I'm not going to force anyone to take the lunge into what would be a very large and unknown space. I've studied it, I've crafted what I assume are copies, tested it as best as I could. I could only pray God see you kind enough that when the time comes, it is as fruitful as the ones we carry. But of course, seeing how you would be interested forefront, finishing what had begun by the council long ago. I assume you're looking for the location. One of the greatest battles that was taken, and along with that, some of the greatest losses, and many of my friends.
Yes.
Did we tell him we're trying to find the caravan or the moving order?
We haven't told him yet, but you can.
I mean, he's kind of. I feel like what he's saying might overlap. So.
Same, yeah. Plus, I'm wondering if there's anything at that battle site that might come in handy. But we allow him to continue.
Last I knew for our intel, is now known as the Yellow City. There's been a lot of creatures and denizens that have swarmed to it and made an alien form of architecture. It seems to have expanded outward. Made sure to keep eyes on it as best as I could. Eventually unfortunate in the circumstance that Asher has managed to employ others, wizards, many that were able to protect against various prying eyes. Be able to call them people at the end of this point. I know going there might cause rapid alterations to people who go there. I know full well that the city is filled with mutants, those who've gone insane. Scribes and archivists who have done nothing but fill the halls and buildings with danger, and somehow becoming an anthill in a way of its own madness, all stable and feeding each other, though destroying it at the same time. I could tell you the location, but it is far underground. Somewhere where light will definitely not reach unless you bring it with you.
The Underdark.
Precisely.
Shit. Vision.
We're going to see some Dro. And whatever else is under there.
Drow, I've also heard that somehow the Fomorians have taken a liking to the outskirts of the city. Somewhere uglier than they are. That's possible to believe. Oh. Might be pliable. There are some others that reside that far underground, though I'm not entirely sure how you feel with dealing with more giants. Though we know for sure on other scouts that reported back to us that there are fire giants who work on the very lava flows there. Though I would imagine that would be a hefty price or something valuable to gain them as an ally if you were to get that far.
Fire giants. We may have an inn there.
Oh shit, yeah.
What will we find in the city?
Aside from what's built up around it, mostly madness. Madness and monsters. So what you're looking for... We call it the Yellow Mare. Is a crystal, larger than any other. Reflects those who walk on it. It is a thinning veil between our plane of the material and into the Eldritch realms. Going down there now might be a very well full open door, though it may not be powerful enough for, well, the king himself to step through. I'm sure he's trying to stretch it wide enough to welcome his approach. Such power could easily collapse it. Though if you're going down there with the intent to cease his approach, I could recommend on what we had done ourselves originally and collapse the doorway.
At this
point, we can.
At this point,
more permanent.
At this point, I tell him we were heading to find my ogre to not just see if we knew where the mirror was. He just told us that, but if they knew anything about destroying it. I also tell him about, I guess, I sort of tell him, I don't tell him the full thing, but I tell him about what happened after we beat Pelgrim. And who we met. And what they said.
Oh, the three demons or devils?
Yeah. So they basically asked us to assassinate Pastor.
From the sounds of it, then the devils are desperate. Using Pelgrim would definitely put them on the back foot and leave Hashta unabated in his approach. Though I do say it is still satisfying to know that such a force is no longer amongst us. It does give pressure that the door would have to be shut, or him destroyed on the other side of the door, so he could not approach it.
Pilgrim's attempt to summon Mammon. Was it in vain? Do we think that there are other powers in hell that might actually be able to challenge the King in Yellow?
If Pelgrim was trying to call one of the great dukes of hell, then I would imagine that he was trying to call a fraction of it. Something that'd be able to force the piece that he's reaching through with into the gate itself. If he did that, the same he would gain control of the Yellow City and all the creatures within.
Hitting one evil for another.
Amassing quite the army. The only upside is that the Abyss would be turning in on itself with all the demons attacking the devils. You would never see more ire from either side. Even if you were to at least get there and close the door, the city might collapse in on itself either way. But that's not a guarantee. Though if you would bring enough powerful mages to do it, there which I'm assuming you might be here for, aside from just the location from the sounds of it. With enough anti-magic being cast upon the gate and the rift itself would be collapsed for a significant amount of time. And then we can attempt to bury it, collapsing the caves. Though that would take a significant amount of time and a lot of manpower.
Not a soldier. If you are going after a king, you are going to need an army.
Then I guess that is...
I mean, do you know anyone who might know a way to break in, or is what you're telling us our best guess on how to deal with this?
Breaking in would be relatively easy. The place is filled with madness. There's not much defense other than just the crazed creatures within. More or less navigating the maze that has become of it. Imagine finding some of the denizens of the Underdark might help you.
What about the idea of destroying the mirror? You know, would anybody know that, or is just what you said again be the best that we can do?
It's the best that I've been able to theorize, unfortunately.
Put the yellow blade to it. A piece of his own power.
You do see curiosity kind of cross his brow. Not given that consideration. I've always been more afraid of it. It's definitely not within my purview to command it.
I somehow feel like that would have the opposite reaction to what we want.
Well, if you are able to turn it, like the runestones for some, now that is a very steep price to ask, as that is someone who would have to sacrifice themselves. I'm not going to request that you would do something rashly. I would imagine if you had someone with a will strong enough and the intent to perform such an act, it would collapse. It's a matter of trying to get there, though, for it. Kind of looks at the rest of you. Would you be willing to... Well, I can't even say sacrifice yourselves, but even risk trying to tame that sword.
I would. If it would stop the Yellow King, yes.
Whatever it takes. I mean, I think I've proved that I'm already all in.
I I don't know.
This is fair.
Let's keep that as an option of last resort.
I mean, there's a reason you're making your copies, I guess.
I'm not one to say I don't fear death.
And only a fool doesn't.
But some things are worth dying for.
Agreed.
But that's not our first plan. Grand Magister, if there are no other runestones, if there is no way to create our own, I'm going to need help. We have a champion with us, but he needs more power.
Very well then. Means that the gate would be, even at the very least, shut and this war ceased. Be willing to extend as much as I can, though. I'm still pressed as Boruzo to the south is always menacing our borders.
How great of a threat are they to you?
Enough to warrant that the majority of our airships have been concentrated over to the south. The mercenaries they draw in from the sea as well as, well, further south on the mainlands have been near endless. It's quite tiresome to see how many think that they can cross our borders and try and bully our people. I do have a small sect of mages that would be able to aid you if you were to head straight for there. But it sounds from the question of it that you might have other ideas.
I don't believe we would be turning down any help.
That is correct.
If you have soldiers and you have power, we are to the point where they should be used.
I agree with that.
To give life, I don't think any of us are going to shirk.
Well, sounds like we must make a war plan then. See, I'll be giving you an extra ship to help transport the others. I do know of a few doorways down, well, proverbial. Caves and systems that lead further into the Underdark. Obviously, I do have my network that still tries to keep them updated, though I would recommend caution. There are some that have been marked out as purple worm nests.
Oh joy.
It's the Underdark, friend.
That was not a
I know, fuck me.
We're willing to take any help you can offer, including your former plans. And whatever lessons you learned from what went wrong when your old guardians made the attempt.
Some of us gave in to temptation. Some tried to become his champion. It's the most tempting feeling ever. Being that close to him with the runestone is intoxicating. Feeling as they gained strength as they were close to the ichor that spawned them. It's also why we had purged many of the bad souls that were within. Took those who would stand and be that filter that protected our minds. Unfortunately, the sounds of it, the one who had taken the red runestone has not been able to abstain from his temptations. Very likely that when you arrive to the other city that he will be waiting for you.
There is no escaping his gaze.
Well, maybe we can try and catch him off guard again.
I would hope so, but if he is becoming a servant, there might be whispers guarding him and leading to his protection when we approach the yellow. Imagine that no champion that would not be kept far from what is possibly his most valued prize and possible hope of true victory. As for now, we shall gather our preparations then. I'm sure there are many other spells that you wish to weave into emergency cases. As he kind of smiles a little towards Modar.
Yeah. This will be. I gotta do actual math.
You've given us much to think of. We will leave your presence for now, Grand Magister Beptune.
Hey, could you sponsor a combination of 2 magical items?
Roll me a persuasion.
Sure. Let's see how this goes. Hey, now.
For the people
I
who
pull
saved me.
I pull out a balance sheet for the latest quarter of the Dennis Rangers, and I show how our life-saving efforts have increased, but our gold intake has gone down drastically.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he kind of smiles. Oh, it's a unique request, but one that is definitely capable of the craftsmen of this great city and nation. prospect of Yellow King no longer being an issue, I'll give what of the treasury I can, and you will have my full support with the Regiment of Mages. Unfortunately, it will leave the rest that we would have to keep in reserve, if that is obviously respectful. Would be able to extend more, but obviously some matters have to be tended to in the state.
Yeah. If everyone's starting to like disperse, I guess I hang around.
Obviously, it would be at the later point. The banquet being ready to be brought in, as obviously the council and private discussions are finished.
I sort of give them a little tap of when you have, I have something of importance I need assistance with.
Very well then. You will take a moment to be able to speak with you privately, Ramus.
Excellent.
Boogie.
I assume.
Ramus, did you want to do this privately? Should we leave the room?
I want to ask him. I guess I'll ask him privately. I was just going to wait till after the meal and try and catch him at a down moment, but it don't matter.
Discuss after that. Obviously, you'll be able to enjoy your meals. Ashton, your wife and daughter will be led back by Shibble as Trakadash also returns with the listing of the items and prices in tow.
Damn, that Ring of Haste is expense.
Yeah, boy.
So is the Ring of Regen.
Grand Magister, can we have 3 rings of regeneration, pretty please?
That
with
takes
the
a
cherry
long
on
time,
top?
though. The Ring of Regen.
I'm sorry, haste is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Rain, Ashton, and Ramus get that.
Those would be once a day uses for a whole minute.
Once a day.
Yes.
I mean, Ramus has his shrooms.
I had 16 shrooms.
Okay.
I bought two burlap sacks of that bitch.
Where do we get more of those?
Within the city.
Yeah, this is where we got them.
I guess my question is how